Hear me? Yes. What a beautiful audience. Thank you all for coming. I will do a bit of the introduction. Thank especially the speakers. I wanted to just mention our 4 keynote speakers that are Bogna Conyor, who flew in from Shanghai, and she's going to walk us through her vision around trajectories, existential trajectories for AGI. And then we have Masataka Watanabe, who flew in from Tokyo, who's going to share with us some of the most interesting research around mind uploading. And then we have Leonardo Quattrucci from Brussels. We're going to have a talk and a fireside chat on institutional architecture and how to think and review our institutions. And Bonnie Maven, who's coming in from San Francisco to discuss artificial wombs, fertility, a bunch of different things on how humans will be born in the future. And then we have an excellent, I think, series of shorter talks from people that will go deeper across a series of themes that we chose not because we necessarily share what the speakers are gonna bring on this stage, but because we think there are some fundamental questions that we need to ask as a collective. And I'll do some housekeeping first, and then I will expand a bit on why we're organizing this. Housekeeping, so there should be emergency exits somewhere. I am legally liable for everything that happens here, so please behave and check out where the emergency exits are. And the event is going to be divided into 2 parts. The first one is more of our personal sort of, I would say, a pan shot on a few potential futures that we have in mind. And it's going to range from AGI to fertility to cellular engineering to robotics. And the second part of the event is going to be more infrastructural. So the question is, if in the first part we ask what it's going to mean to be human in the next 1, 10, 100, 1,000 years, the second part of the event is going to be around what are the critical pieces of infrastructures that will change the way we think about humanity. So there is going to be some robotics, there is going to be some financing, there is going to be compute, institutions, and similar. And in between, you'll have a 1-hour break. Vicky will manage all the flow. But you get caffeinated, you eat some food, and be happy and ready for the second part. On the why we are organizing this, I would say there are 2 fundamental beliefs that we hold. The first belief is very simple, and it is that if we can ask the right questions, as a collective, not as Unruly, not as investors, not as a society, if we can ask the right questions, we can make things happen differently, and hopefully better. So the first belief is around the necessity to ask the right questions of where we're going, how our technology is going to impact the way we think about ourselves, the way we think about identity, the way we think about life and death, the way we think about justice, society, mind, intelligence. And the second belief is that a society is only as good as our ability to offer platforms for these questions to be asked. A society without these platforms is a society that is just not having the right conversations. That's very, very simple. And we can make it as political as we want. There is the usual talk around bureaucracy in Europe. But bureaucracy that hinders innovation, and a culture that doesn't welcome excellence or doesn't promote excellence as a critical bit of its own infrastructure. And all the way to, if you've seen recently the debate at the European Parliament around the Chat Protection Act, that is, it has some totalitarian tones that we don't necessarily like. But all these things together are the result of the same problem, and is the problem of us as a society not being able to value ideas. Because if we valued ideas, then we would make everything that we can to make them emerge from the collective. We would go specifically to look for the most radical and weird in a sense of like ideas that make us uncomfortable when we hear them. And that's not what not what we necessarily do as a mainstream approach to diversity of thought. So this is very much our belief in the importance of platforms. If we don't have platforms where we can let these ideas, radical ideas, emerge and clash, and have all the very typical and grounded in the Enlightenment process of Darwinian selection of what are the good ideas we want to use in society, then we're going literally nowhere. So this is very much the reason why we decided to share with you, bring on stage a few of these speakers that have deeply thought about the most important challenges and the most important topics of our time. So this event is not sponsored. It's our money. I mean, LP's money, actually, but kind of our money. So we really want to welcome you here as parts of this wider platform that is not Unruly, is everyone who thinks that we should ask the most important questions of our time, and we should address them without fear and with the most bold approach we can.